Hey everybody. Oh, we got our weekly frag talk. It's still actually pretty sunny out here. I love it. I love that we're getting into the summer. I love that we're spring where you live, and I love that we're actually getting into some good weather where it's bright and sunny and lasts a little bit longer. Hopefully, my videos are a little brighten up your day a little bit. If you're quarantined, with all that, if you're stuck indoors, hopefully I brighten up your day just a little bit. And I said I'd get on 6 p.m. Central. I know I'm a little bit late. Sorry about that. A couple minutes late. Anyways, how's everybody doing? How's the world? How's the life? See if anybody wants to pop in here. How's it going? What's your scent of the day? I see somebody coming in and then popping out. Anyways, I didn't even check who's live. Maybe another fragrance reviewer's live right now. I didn't even check. I'm bad about that. I told everybody I was going to get on live about this time on my Instagram, and I did last night. I should have scheduled it so everybody on my channel can see. Never duplicated frags, Lyra. Hey, everybody's wearing that Lyra. I think it was Solano was wearing that one. I guess if you know, you know. If you're in the if you're in the world of niche fragrance, you know. But I've never seen that one. I know it's hard to get your hands on. I think he said it smelled. I forget. I think it was citrus, caramel, and something else. Oh, it's me. You changed your name. Sorry about that, Solano. Never duplicated frags. I like that name. That's your new gig, huh? How's it going? Is it hot where you live, or do you just wear what you want? Is it hard to pull that off? Do you have to go easy on the spray? Yes, Lowell, it's cool, my dude. Yeah, you're here with me hanging out. I need to actually schedule these so everybody can see the pop up that I'm actually going to go live. I think I get more people jump on the bandwagon if I did that. I have all four seasons. Okay, that's awesome. I like living in places where there's actually seasons. I like the spring, when it's fresh and crisp and a little bit cold perhaps, but you see the change to the summer where it gets actually hot and humid, then the fall where the leaves change and it's a little bit cool but not cold exactly, and then you actually have winter where it's actually cold. So, I like having those transition months. So, yeah, you do. It's easier that way. Yeah, I should have. Man, man. Have you been getting into any new frags? Do you have to stay indoors where you live, Solano? Are you going through that too, or how's it over in your side of the world, man? Indecents. Hey, my friend, how's it going? How's the world? How's the life? What's your scent of the day? I grabbed a couple fragrances to share here with y'all. I do have a big haul video I need to do for y'all, but I do have some stuff coming, so I'm gonna wait to do that. I'm bad about. I guess I could do mini hauls all the time, but I like to do a couple haul videos like a couple times a year and kind of put together a month, 2 months, 3 months of frags together to showcase to y'all like what I've been buying, what's my mood like. And I usually buy things pretty seasonally as well. Some people don't like to base their frags on season, but I that's what I tend to do. So yeah, you do you. It's easier that way. Yeah, for sure. I was actually talking to another fragrance reviewer, and I was telling him that I'm actually kind of getting to the point where I've caught up with most designer fragrances. I still like them. I'll still explore the new ones. But as far as things from the past, I have a lot of stuff coming, and I'm just about caught up with designers. And maybe I can start to focus a little bit more on my niche journey and indie journey in the future. But designer frags are still good. I still rock them. I still wear them. But in the future, I might start looking more towards them, especially if I ever get to move to a better city and I can start hitting those good boutiques. So that'd be a lot of fun with Perfumology, Beverly Hills Perfumery, and all that good stuff. Um, right now it's in the 50s. That's right now. Yeah, that's really nice. I don't know what temperature it is now. We've had a couple days where it even hit 80s. So, but today's really, really nice. It's probably 60s or something, 70s right now. So, yeah, I have to stay indoors. We're on lockdown. Yeah, we're asked to, but we're not forced to out here. But I don't know how much if everybody's being responsible. but for the most part, people are. Sometimes people still take walks, go to the grocery store. People don't eat out as often. We still have restaurants that are open here. All we have like drive-throughs, like fast food and stuff like that still. So I don't think we're hit too hard, but we got to be careful. It's all good in the hood. Yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear that you're doing well. You know, if your health is good and you don't have to worry about these times, you're doing pretty good, even if you're struggling financially. A lot of us are going to be struggling that way, and it's going to hit us hard. We're going to have to recover financially as well. So, yeah, stay indoors. Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite patchouli? That's a really hard question. I need to try more patchoulis, but my favorite so far is probably Patchouli Noir by Il Profumo. I got a vintage bottle, but the regular bottle is still great. It smells a little bit more creamy, a little bit more milky, but it's still beautiful. Almost like that chalky, like chocolate side of patchouli. It's a really wearable patchouli as well. Again, it's Patchouli Noir by Il Profumo. It's still available on Lucky Scent. Last time I looked, I was just lucky, and I found a vintage bottle. And I don't know if it was just because the alcohol evaporated, or probably a combination of that, and it aged, and maybe there's some vanilla in it that became a little bit golden. But I don't have that bottle right now; it's in my room. But the color of the juice was a real golden, color, real deep. So that's my favorite. I know a lot of people like what was it called? Incidents or something diplomatique by is that by Javoy? I think that's by them. I think Sebastian always talks about that one, but in I think that's how you say it. Anyways, there's some good patchoulis out there. I still need to discover them, and one of my favorite patchoulis so far is Prison Blues by IDEO. Wonderful, versatile, patchouli. Very classy and easy to wear. It's very modern, and I like it because I can wear it anytime. Patchoulis sometimes get really rich, get really heavy, and I feel sometimes like they almost feel like more fall winter fragrances, even if they're not the deepest or the darkest or gourmand focused. So I really like that Prison Blues made it highly versatile, and I can wear a patchouli whenever I want now. What did you buy? I got a lot of stuff coming. I want to keep it under wraps, but one is Bulgari Black Cologne for sure. I really like the Bulgari line, and I've been dying to get my nose on Black Cologne. I have the Bulgari Extreme, which I got not too long ago as well. Hey Randy, so hey Indecents. Oh hey Fragrance Journey, how's it going, my friend? Incidents is vetiver and psychedelic is patchouli. Okay, I wasn't sure. I was mixing them up. Yeah, psychedelic. You're right. By Javoy is the patchouli. So I've heard that one's really good. I don't think I've tried it, but I'm dying to try it. I really need to. Patchouli's a really nice note. I don't want to say it's uncommon, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about patchouli. It's another one of those notes that has a lot of character. Not everybody's gonna love big notes with big personalities like Iris, or sometimes Vetiver's that way. Iris can be that way. Violet can be that way. Even things like tuberose or rose. You gotta sometimes certain notes can definitely change things up. So hopefully I helped you out. Definitely get a sample of Prison Blues by IDEO if you want a versatile patchouli. At least I think. Curious Perfumer, hey, how you doing? It's good to see you. How's the life? How's the world? What you been smelling? I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's holding together. Wishing y'all the very best too. So, Fragrance Journey says Prison Blues is nice. Yeah, I think it's really nice. If you're really deep into patch patchouli, it's not going to be intense enough, probably. But I think Prison Blues is just really versatile. It's really easy to wear as far as a patchouli goes. It's really well blended, really well made, and it does feel like it's been rounded out with more of a musk kind of feel to it. And I'm a sucker for that. I know perfumers tend to do that, and some people think that's kind of a cop out when perfumers use musk to kind of fill in the gaps of their fragrances, but sometimes it works, and I guess I'm a sucker for it sometimes. So. Other than outside in the summer, could you really wear any fragrance all year? Example, say Tuscan leather at night. The summer, just spray less. Yeah, you could definitely get away with whatever you want. I just make suggestions. I hope that people don't misunderstand me. I just suggest things for the season. If you're in air conditioned environments, you can get away with just about anything. Um, it's just when you're outside, you might have to be careful. Like if you're wearing a really heavy gourmand oud in 100-degree weather, you'd have to be really careful with the sprays, or it might not be the best thing to do to wear it in the day. You might be able to get away with it a little bit better at night. But yeah, you're right. You can wear whatever you want wear what you want when you want. Don't feel limited by a season. If you want to wear it, I mean, rock it. But sometimes I just like to suggest it because when I'm in a season like summer, I do want to match like the ocean vibes. I just get in the mood. But it's not a rule. It's just a suggestion. Nice tidy cut there. Thank you, my friend. I actually did it myself. I was hoping it didn't look too bad. Y'all can actually see my ears for once. I trimmed myself down and all, so hopefully I'm looking sharp. I got some compliments this morning, so I'm happy to hear that. So thank you. I appreciate that. Let me see. You're right, Dean. Have you tried Tom Ford Patchouli Absolute? I don't know if I've tried that one. I don't believe I have. There's a lot of Tom Fords out there, the newer ones. I believe there's a Costa Azura Aqua, or there's like a Aqua Flanker of one of them. And there's a couple of the newer Tom Fords. I haven't seen many reviews of them, and I haven't really tried them, but they'd be fun to try. Again, my feelings would probably be the same, that it's nice and that I would like it. But again, for 50 mils, it costs like 350 bucks retail, and Tom Fords usually don't go on big discounts either. So I don't I don't know if it's worth the money. It's just like Killian's. Like you're buying into a big name luxury brand that holds a lot of value. You have to like Killian as a brand, their story, their message. You have to love the bottles, and you have to love the scent. If you're just buying into it just for the scent alone, and you don't care much about the presentation or the brand, um, Tom Ford or big brands like Parfums de Marly might not be for you. I'm sometimes that way. I sometimes like these indie niche perfumers who, have a story and they're not focusing on the commercial aspects and the name, their big name as much as some brands do. The way they get. So psychedelic is incredible. Yeah, I gotta check that one out. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed a comment. A Fragrance Journey says, check out Reminiscence Patchouli. I saw you talking about that one on your channel, Fragrance Journey. I saw you recommending that one. I've actually been tempted to just blind buy it, just snap it up, because you've been talking so good about it. It looks really nice, and it's amazing. I just did a review on. I saw your review. Um, I don't know. The only places I can find it on is probably eBay. I probably should just blind buy it. I've already spent way too much money on frags, but that one's definitely on my list. I also have Noir Exquise by Les Artisans. I'm dying to get that one. There's a lot of fragrances I want to catch up on. And then there's the whole world of niche to dive into. I mean, there's so much stuff to try. There's so many fragrances out there. It's hard to keep up. If y'all think that I'm blowing content your way with one video a day, I still have 100 videos I haven't released that are, just in private, and I could make a lot more content. And I'm not even making top 5 or top 10 list very often. I rarely, if ever, do that kind of stuff. And I don't do. If I start doing fragrance battles, it's just so much content coming at you. I couldn't find the Reminiscence patch at that price. Yeah, I think I saw it on eBay. I don't remember what it was for last, but it was anywhere from 50 to 70 or something like that. What's the price you were seeing for? I forget, but it must have been 50 to 70 or something. I don't find it for that cheap. I'd love to know where you find it. I need to snag up a bottle. Hey Ben, what's happening, bro? Hey Nathaniel, how you doing? What's happening, bro? Hope you're doing well and being safe. Yeah, I'm being safe. I'm being responsible. I'm definitely non-essential, which is definitely tough. So, what about Elisa? They have some great ones for cheap made by MFK himself. I haven't come across any that are made for men. I'm not sure, but I think Ali Saab is one of those brands that tries to focus for ladies. I've tried Le Parfum and a few others. They're one of those brands like Givenchy that makes some amazing female fragrances that are catered towards women. Of course, you can wear anything that you want, anytime you want. If you're a guy, I mean, hey, wear something that's made for ladies if that's what you want to do. But I think Le Parfum is a gorgeous, very classy honey fragrance. It's like timeless. I called it like the fragrance for the grand ball. Like, the at the end of the year, what the holidays and the like a big golden dress. It's very classy. It's kind of effortless and very smooth. And I think the Elie Saab Le Parfum is really great. But I haven't come across any that are made for men. Maybe they do have some, but I've just missed them. So I need to catch up on Ali Saab. I would love to find a fragrance that maybe I could wear from them. I think most of the fragrances I've come across from Givenchy's line for women are, I think, a lot better than a lot of their fragrances that they make for men. They do a really good job on those ladies' fragrances, like the Eau de Daemon line. They have a bunch of flankers, and people sleep on them. They're amazing prices. I mean, you could snag those up on FragranceNet for way cheaper than they should be going for, and they're great quality. Great stuff. Fragrance Journey 80 plus. Yeah, it's I was struggling to find it, 50 to 70, 80 plus, yeah, 129. That's crazy. I got my bottle for 50. Yeah, I don't know, is it discontinued? I get sometimes things are on sale. Like when I started talking about Timbuktu, you used to be able to find 30 mils for close to 30 and 50 mils for close to 50. I think that maybe people didn't know how good it was, and I started talking about it, and some people started reviewing it, and I think that the market has adjusted. There used to be too much supply, so it used to be a little bit cheaper. Now to get Timbuktu to get 50 mils, you have to pay like $70 odd, and full retail price, I forget if it's like 120 or something. I forget. I think that might be for 100 mils, but it's still a great fragrance for the price. Like Artisan is certainly niche. It's worth the money. That sucks. That's crazy. Yeah, and sometimes that happens. I did that one time. There was like this vanilla orchid or vanilla tuberose fragrance that my mom got, and when she got it, there was a few bottles left for like 50 odd dollars, and I talked about how good it was, and I kind of felt guilty about my review. It was back in the day. It didn't get very many views, luckily enough, but it was like right after that time, I went on the internet, and I guess it's when the supply dried up, and that fragrance, if you can ever find it, is $120 plus. Some of those Occitane fragrances are really good perfume for ladies as well, but the price just, sometimes it's a hit or miss. Sometimes you can find a good deal, sometimes not. Just like that Perry Ellis, what is that one? That black vanilla, that one's everybody's talking about. The supplies dried up on that, and the price is creeping up, and there's still reviewers talking about, and they still think it's 30, 40, 50 bucks. And that Perry Ellis, like black vanilla or whatever it's called, is I don't know I don't think you can find it for those prices anymore. But it used to be a really good, affordable, almost like a cheapy fragrance. Yep. Let's see. Has anyone tried Patchouli Leaves by Montel? I've been tempted to try it. Again, I don't live in any of these big cities and with boutiques, so a lot of the stuff I honestly buy is blind buying. I try to do my research. I try to get samples. I haven't tried that one. Honestly, I don't know where I could get a sample of that one, so I might just have to. If I do get into that one, I'd have to blind buy it, but that one's not high on my list. But it looks like it could be good. Montal sometimes throws too much rose in their fragrances, so sometimes I'm careful with Montals. So Ali Saab also does unisex. Try vetiver and amber. I'll have to look into them. I have to do a little bit more research. I bet they do have some good stuff for sure. Ali Saab. Elie Saab Oud and Santal are both really nice. I haven't tried those. If they have a Oud, I probably need to try it. And Santal, yeah, that's the amber and the Oud one. Yeah. Keep up the great work, man. Stay safe. I enjoyed. Thank you, my friend. And definitely shout outs to you. When you come on my channel, I'll always give you a shout out, man. I love your content. I know you're doing good over there. You're doing a good thing. People love you. Um, and yeah, I mean, you're deep into the niche game. I still play around with designers. I still play around with cheapies, and you just dived into the high end stuff. I don't really have a budget to do that all the time. I tried to, but man, you got all kinds of stuff that I've never seen. You know, all kinds of stuff I've never smelled. Fragrance Journey. So yeah, I appreciate you too. You got cool stuff going on. Never duplicated frag. Solano says I found it for 40. That's awesome. I need to do pick up. I do good do get good deals. I have a bottle of Eau Sauvage on my way, and I think they were asking for 55 or something, and I did a make a offer, and I got for like a brand new sealed full size bottle, the 3.4 ounce. I think I got for like 45 plus the full like priority $8 shipping, and on Fragrance Net I think it's like 73, 74, 75 odd dollars. So I almost got it for like $20 less than you can get it on the gray market like discounters. So if you can ever do anything like that, snag up something. I hope it's been stored right. I hope it works out. One time I bought a vintage bottle of Aqua di Gio because I was just so curious, and everybody hyped up the vintage batches, and I found somebody actually had it, and I paid like $100 for it, and I think it was good. It'd been stored right. It was still in the wrapper. It was all legit. I don't know if it'd been stored right, but it smelled like oak moss. It smelled like vinegar, and vintage Aqua di Gio isn't that great, at least in my experience. I don't know. I don't know if people care for that. I gave it away because I don't. I guess I could have tried to resell it. It didn't smell good, and I didn't want to rip anybody else off. I didn't want to sell it for $100, and I thought it was bad. So, or possibly bad. Sometimes you lose, and that's what scares me with blind buying. Anyways, what have y'all been doing with all of your time? Have y'all gotten to any new hobbies? Are y'all gamers? Or do y'all read comics? Or do any of y'all have a secret talent? Fragrance Journey, do you have? I know you have a family, so that probably keeps you busy. But do you have a secret talent that we don't know? Solano, what do you do over there in Peru? Anyways, let me show you some of those frags. I know I told you I'd show you some of these fragrances. Anthony 1. Have y'all heard about this one? I think the brand's being liquidated, or maybe I just got really lucky and found. As far as I know, these aren't readily available anymore. They used to be. This is used to be $100 retail fragrance, and I got this for like $50. There was a second one, and actually, one of my subs here, I talked about it on a live stream, and he wanted the link, and he bought it up and snapped it up quick. It's a brand new, it was sealed, unused bottle of Anthony 1, and it's it's I don't know if this is entry level niche. The cap is really heavy, and it's like I don't know, it's crazy, man. And it's a vetiver fragrance. It's like super fresh. It's kind of light, honestly. It doesn't have the best performance, but it's a really nice, classy vetiver fragrance. And it's really easy to wear. It's super inoffensive too. So, honestly, it smells a little bit like my Bulgari Extreme because it has that fresh, citrusy Haitian vetiver kind of smell about it. But this one might be a little bit creamier. I really like this stuff though. Have y'all ever seen this one? That's one of the best deals I got. I wanted to show y'all. One of the things I bought recently. It's I got it for $50 shipped to my door. And it's a really nice presentation too. I like it. Even though the box is beat up a little bit, but let me see here. Oh, you're in Jersey. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I must have mixed something up, Solano. Planted peppers in the backyard garden, jalapenos, serranos, habanero, chili pepper, and are more durable and less needy in Texas weather. Hey, that's awesome. I love gardening too. I just don't do it. We don't have a really good yard. I mean, y'all look at the yard, y'all think it's beautiful, but where I live in the state I live, it doesn't have good soil for gardening, honestly. Lots of clay, lots of insects, and you have to do a lot of work to have any good farmable soil. So I love gardening though. Hopefully, I'll get to do some of that in the future. We do have some blueberry bushes. They're not really mature yet. They're not really big enough yet. And we have a fig tree, but we don't take care of it enough, and it's kind of getting old. It doesn't produce very often. It's only produced like 2 years in total, and the squirrels and the birds try to get to all of our figs too. So, hello from France. Hey there, Grobari. How you doing? I don't know a lot of French people, but uh, y'all are awesome over there. I've only met a few, but some of y'all are really friendly. It's really awesome. I really like watching some of y'all on YouTube. I do, and I know this is weird, but y'all have an awesome knife culture, like handmade knives, and I'm really into, my the knife hobby as well. And I love, some of your culture and your old school charm with food and everything. Um, I forget her name. I'm trying to remember her name. Oh, it's Iris. But I can't remember her channel name right now. But there's a brand new fragrance reviewer, or fairly new, and she started talking a lot about fragrances, and I watch her sometimes. I think she's quite charming. So, and y'all probably know about Clemence. So she's grown. She's exploding on YouTube. I guess I don't have the charm. Clements and some of these fragrance reviewers are growing like wildfires. So it's a small raised garden. Um, I had some extra soil every year, gave up on tomatoes, too much of a fight with the birds, and also gave up on cucumbers. Those vines get pretty dominant in a small garden. Yeah, you got to be careful. And I also I'm into composting. I would be, but I got neighbors and, people like family and all that who really don't like composting. So that's how you grow good crops though. You make good soil is from throwing all your organic trash and letting it sit out there in like a garbage can, so letting it rot. Anyways, let's talk about fragrance. Just finished your celebrity video, good choices. I don't know if it's on my end or your end, but none of those links, none of them worked. Really? Maybe they were blocked somehow. Maybe they didn't like that I did that. Well, if you want me to send you the links, I can certainly send them to you, or you could just Google them and look into the ladies if you want to. But I don't know why. Maybe they didn't like that I'd linked all their channels. I don't know. Oof, that's a shame. I'll look into that though. I'll see what the problem is. Did y'all see my celebrity crush video? I thought it was really funny. I don't. I try to put a little bit of humor out there sometimes, and I hope it's well received. I hope that y'all like it. I hope I tried to share a little bit of my personality out there. Some people don't think I share enough of my personality. Maybe I seem like too much of a showman or something, but I can look them up. Yeah, thank you. That I'll definitely try to fix those. But hopefully you like some of my choices. I really like some of those musicians, like Maria Brink from In This Moment, heavy metal singer. Kimbra's really awesome and jazzy. She does all kinds of fusion music. Um, there's a bunch of wonderful ladies out there. I'm not too much into the Hollywood scene though. I read one of the potential symptoms of COVID is a loss of smell. Haven't seen whether it's temporary or permanent. I don't think it would be permanent. It's a virus, unless you get a heavy flu and I don't know, you're like near death or something. Nah. I You might be referring to Mr. Cologne's live. I actually was there and I watched it this morning with Mr. Cologne 70. Yeah, Mr. Cologne 76 here on Instagram, and it's just with your health. Like if you eat a lot of food and you're not hungry, your sense of smell tends not to be as good. Or if you're sick, just like any sense, you're probably not going to be at 100% if you're sick. So that's one of the ways maybe they were trying to suggest that maybe that maybe there was a way with science to detect if you were getting sick or not if you started losing your sense of smell. But of course, the easiest way is just by temperature. If your body's going up in temperature, it's trying to fight, a virus, and that's what's going on. So, yeah, let's see. Back again. Stefan's in the house. How you doing, Stefan? I'm happy that I don't know if you lurked a while or if you just took a little bit of time for yourself, but I'm happy that you're back and I'm happy that you're having fun with all of us. If you don't want to, you don't have to make content all the time. But if you would just want to hang out with all of us, we all love you, man. We love you, Stefan. You're awesome. I'm Little Road from Instagram, by the way. Yeah, yeah, I remember. I remember your picture, Jamie Road. Yeah, Little Road. Yeah, you're awesome. You were on my Instagram this morning when I went live. Thoughts on collecting a whole brand versus specific fragrances? Well, those are two different frames of thought. If you're collecting a whole brand, then you probably are loyal to the brand and you really like the image of the brand. And maybe it gives some people a sense of security. With some of these big name brands, like if you bought into Killian or if you only bought Tom Ford's, they have enough variety that you probably could have a fragrance for every situation. But I guess if you really love the brand and the image and the style and you want to be recognized as that, that could work for you. I like to switch it up. I like variety. I like different styles of fragrances, different concentrations from different types of perfumers. I'm very, very picky. Like I'd like very few bands. Like I can like one song and absolutely consider it one of my favorite songs of all time. And but I don't like the band as a whole. I can listen to some of their other songs and actually dislike them. I'm the same way with fragrances. I pick and choose what I like, and I'm very picky. And I think that if you're really trying to find fragrances that you love, that you're probably going to have to be on a search. But some people might just like a style. You might like Tom Ford's style. You might like Parfums de Marly's style. Anything like Xerjoff, any of these big name brands that have a lot of personality and a lot of variety. You could probably have a fragrance, even designer fragrances. You could buy, you know, Armani, designer frags, and you could have a fragrance for every situation if you wanted to. So I don't do it that way, but it would make for some nice pictures if you had like the whole collection. If you had like all the Armani designer fragrances, and you could like showcase that, that'd be cool. But again, I'm not really a collector. I'm more of like a fragrance enthusiast. I sample and I try like everything and anything, and that's why I don't have 100 plus fragrances at least at this point. Is I sell stuff unless I really truly love the fragrance. I just don't keep my hands on it. It would be really nice to have some of these things as point of reference to always show you all the bottle and so y'all can actually see what it looks like. But I'm tight on money. It'd be nice to be able to do that, but I'd rather put my money towards something else. So let's see. Hopefully that was a good answer, Dean. I try. Cali Review says, "What's up, Ben? What's up to you? I've been doing pretty good. I'm holding on. I'm not bored out of my mind or anything. Honestly, I got lots of hobbies and I got lots of things to do, lots of yard work that needs to be done, and lots of things to do on the internet. So but I understand that a lot of people need social contact, especially if you're a social person and you're, all alone and you used to be a very social person. I was talking to somebody who lives in Italy, and it was her culture and like her ritual to go and get coffee every morning and, go out and about and meet friends, maybe sometimes, at the, little restaurants or like a pub or something. So, some people it's a completely different shift in lifestyle, and it can be a struggle. But hope that y'all are doing okay. Hopefully, y'all are enjoying hanging out with me a little bit. So let me see here. I enjoyed the celeb video. I'm happy you enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to fix those links. I put a lot of effort into it. I actually had to make the video twice. The first time I made it, I had 5 to 10 second clips of the music, and it got flagged by three music companies, and actually got blocked. Not only was it copyright claimed, I don't care, you can copyright claim it, but the video was actually blocked so nobody could see it. So then I remade the whole entire video, and they might have blocked my links. I don't know if that's true, but I'll have to double check. And if they block the links, if they don't want the links to work, that's not something I can fix. But they were real links when I put them up there. They're legit. Let me see here. Small Fry Squad, yeah. I wonder if we still alive? Is the Small Fry Squad still a thing? I still love you guys. I still think it's a cool thing, but I don't know if we're still rocking. But it was a fun gig. My hours at work are getting cut for the foreseeable future. I know it's a struggle. A lot of people are being laid off temporarily, permanently. A lot of people, people are losing their jobs or having to close shop because of all this. It's a real struggle. Hopefully, we can pick things up, and when once this is all over. So see here. Was psyched to spend my Trump check on frags, not anymore. Yeah, definitely be careful with your money. I did spend some money on frags. I'll be honest. I did spend a lot of money on frags, but I didn't spend, $1,000 or something ridiculous. I only spent what 200 on frags so far. Definitely be responsible. Take care of what's important. Yeah. So it's not too personal. What industry do you work in? I've answered this before, and I don't know if it'll hurt my image or not. But honestly, I've just been online trying to make certain online gigs work. I've tried started trying to be a writer a little bit. I just do yard work for the most part. I don't have a fabulous life. I don't have a life of luxury. That's for certain. I spend most of my money into fragrances, and this is a passion I'm really interested in, and I hope that maybe I can work in the industry, but I do want to start my own, my own job and have my own company, but I want to do that slowly. So I'm not sure how I'm going to go about that, but we'll see how I can get that going. I know Dean's been wanting to work with me, but I don't know. I almost want to do things more in house than than commercial. So that's how I want to do it. But that's fine. You can ask. Maybe I can get. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I did graduate from college, but nothing I ever wanted to do worked out. I wanted to get into supply chain. I've talked about this in a couple lives. I don't want to seem negative. It's probably a good thing. It's probably not where I needed to be. I'm a very creative person, and I didn't want to just push Excel spreadsheets and work an office job for the rest of my life. Anyways, I just I wanted a professional decent job out of college at least for a little while before I could really start my own company, but that's not how it worked out. Let's see here. Thoughts on Bond number 9, New Harlem. It's famously known for smelling like maple syrup. And I was already working from home. Yeah, I feel the same way. I want to be able to work from home. I want to be able to have the mobile lifestyle and travel all everywhere in the world. I have a lot of interest and hobbies, and I have a lot of dreams. So hopefully, I can get that going soon. So thoughts on Bond number 9, New Harlem? It smells like maple syrup. It's kind of sweet. It's kind of linear, but it smells nice. Back in the day, people used to say it got them lots of compliments and lots of positive attention. So my opinions on Bond number 9 is that they're usually way too pricey for what they are. Usually the quality, they don't smell that great, and usually Bond number 9s, some of them have decent longevity, but some of them are just average. So sometimes you're paying a lot of money for a fragrance that the quality's not great, and sometimes you're getting average performance. My favorite Bond number 9 so far is probably Ches Bond personally, but overall, best fragrance overall, probably that I haven't smelled any of the Dubai exclusives, but it's probably Bleecker Street. It's probably the one I would recommend the most, but that's more of a blueberry fragrance. So, but I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting composition. Weird time to invest in this hobby. Everyone's at the hospital where I work and has to wear a mask. Yeah, it is weird. Where I kind of some of us fragrance lovers, if you're wearing fragrance at this time in the world, with what's going on, you're wearing fragrances probably more for yourself than anything. You're not probably wearing it for compliments. You're probably not wearing a fragrance, to probably get a lady or something like that. So it is an interesting time. There's a lot of depending on your finances, depending on what you're doing, getting into fragrances like buying more fragrances might not be the thing a lot of people think is important. So I can see that point of view. I still like fragrances, and I'm still going for them, but I can see your point there. Um, but definitely be careful around other people. If people are sick, I mean, definitely be responsible and definitely be careful. Don't be sparing 10, 20 sprays of a heavy oud in summer around people who are struggling for their lives. That'd be terrible. That'd be ridiculous. So, have you gotten a Trump check? Is it really going to happen? I hope it does. I honestly haven't gotten anything yet, but I've heard some people might be getting there soon. I haven't gotten anything. I just bought a Dua because it's 30% off, though, lol. Uh, Belgian Choco truffles. That sounds really, really nice. I honestly haven't bought into a lot of Duas, and I maybe in the future when I get some more money, I'll blind buy one. But I I bought about a dozen of their old, their previous formulations. They don't even sell most of them anymore, and I haven't tried any of the new fusions that they have. Their once they went to a smaller bottle size. I'm sure the quality's a lot better, but I just don't want to mess and touch them at least at this point. I don't know why, but that's just something I don't feel like I want to do right now. It's supposed to happen this coming week for people with direct deposit. Yeah, if you filed your taxes for the last 2 years, and I think it's based off your most recent you know when you did your taxes, and I think they have to have your information for your bank. If they don't have the information for your bank when you did your taxes, they'll have to send it to you through the mail, which could take up to a month. I don't know all the details, but if you're independent, of course, you know, I'm an XL monkey. It's comfy, or well, it's comfy. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. That's honestly, I felt kind of betrayed when I went to college. I got to my just about senior year, and I thought that it would be a real possibility to become a buyer off the bat. I wanted to become a buyer or like a transportation manager with supply chain. With like waterways, like with freight. you know that's a huge industry that a lot of people don't talk about, and a lot of people just don't think about those huge barge ships that travel all over the world. Y'all think about Some people even don't think about 18 wheelers going across all the countries and all around the world. There's those big ships that have to be managed, and transportation and docking and inspections and all that other paperwork and all that other stuff involved. So I wanted to be a part of that, and I didn't have the right connections. And I tried for the longest time. I tried LinkedIn. I did my darnest, and I did everything that was possible, just about. But I don't know. I don't know what it takes these days. But I listened to all the gurus. I watched hours and hours of YouTube videos, and reached out. I messaged hundreds of recruiters. Maybe they just didn't want me, and maybe that's the good thing for me, because I hopefully I can make my dreams come true. And I didn't want to be that Excel monkey. That would kill me inside. I've worked hard jobs, mindless jobs, physical labor jobs, and um, it hurts me. My Micker said, "Amen is close enough to New Harlem." Um, Perhaps it. They do have a similar sweetness. There is caramel in Amen. I do think they smell differently, but I could see where maybe you could draw a comparison with the style. Like the vibe is kind of similar. Yeah, I don't know if New Harlem is discontinued. If it's an outrageous price, I don't think it's worth seeking out. Um, you can still supposedly it has a maple syrup quality as well. I need to blind buy it. It's on my buy list. It's Noir Exquise by Les Artisans, and I think that you'd be a lot happier with that one. It's about $70 or $80. You can find that for a full size bottle. So that's a really nice fragrance. I really like Les Artisans, so I guess I'm a little bit biased that way. And I miss my Mickers. My Mickers was a good guy. Don't get me thinking about him. uh, Fafa Fee. I don't know what that means, and I've never seen you before. Tickets. But thank you for stopping by. Maybe a good time to start a hand sanitizer company if you can get the materials. then transition to frags in a year to try to leverage the supply chain. Well, that's true, but they're controlling I guess, the supply of alcohol. I guess some people could do that. I'd rather make a artisan soap company. Alcohol does help kill the virus, but I don't know. I think people put too much hope into that. I think it's better to actually just wash your hands with soap. I think that's the better way to go about it. At least I think so. But I guess that's possible. Let's talk about fragrances, though. What fragrances have y'all been into? Or maybe y'all just don't want to talk about fragrances because of what's going on in the world. Have y'all been buying anything, or have y'all been focused on being safe and taking care of family or friends, or what how's what's been going on in your life? Well, I found out that Jean Paul Gaultier Lamal in the blistering sun doesn't smell nice. That's a good point. That's one reason I recommend things for certain seasons. If you have a very complex fragrance, the heat tends to make the fragrance more dispersive, so the fragrance isn't going to develop, and the fragrance isn't going to change on your skin, like transitioning from the open to the mid and the mid to the dry down. It's not going to be the same. The heat makes everything just come out all at once, and also it can project way too much. It can be cloying. It can be annoying. And certain notes like vanilla, at least in my experience, vanilla doesn't work well in high heat. Sometimes rose doesn't do well in high heat. Some of those weird odd notes can become really strange, like carrot seed and fennel and clove. Some of those notes can become really weird in the high heat. So I'm happy that you said that. It's true, but you can test just about anything. You could probably wear it in air conditioned environments in the summer, or maybe you could get away with it at night. But and the sunlight, going to the beach in the high heat or something like that in the high heat, yeah, that's not going to work. Anyways, let's talk about some of these other fragrances. I have two more I wanted to pull out and share with y'all. Sorry, if I'm not being entertaining this morning. The morning, this afternoon. I just ordered Zaharoff Signature. Really nice fragrance. I think it's kind of soapy, but it's really calming with a lot of lavender. It has a really interesting oud that's not scary. It's not weird. It's not strange. Smells like a real nice gentleman, real classy. I still stand by what I said. I think it smells like a CEO. I think it smells like a real businessman or a real upscale kind of guy. Um, One of the fragrances I've been loving, and I wear this in spring and summer, is the original Bulgari Aqua. It's very salty, very briny, smells very aquatic, lots of seaweed. This is a true to form. This is a real deal aquatic. A lot of the times, aquatics don't last very long. This one probably will give you 6, maybe 7 hours. It's not the longest lasting aquatic, but it's up there. It gives you pretty good performance. I don't know why a lot of reviewers don't talk about the original. Marine's really nice. Marine smells. It's probably easier to wear. Probably a little bit more universal. Doesn't last as long. But I don't know why a lot of reviewers haven't talked about the Aqua. It does have maybe a little bit more of a mature vibe. Maybe if you like cool water, those kinds of fragrances, you might appreciate this one a little bit more. But I don't know why people don't talk about this one. When you're talking about summer fragrances, the Bulgari Aqua line for the price is really hard to beat. You can get these for anywhere from 35 odd, maybe $40, and for the full size bottle, and smells great. Lasts really long for a summer aquatic fragrance. I got Aquamarine and Amara. Yeah, a lot of people like the Amara. Y'all know I'm not personally the biggest fan, but wear what works for you. Wear what you love. The Bulgari line, the Aqua line, is really nice. I can't say enough good about them. Even though the bottles, I think that they should be cut out at the bottom and flat so they can sit. That's just about my only complaint, that they can't stand up. It's about my only complaint with them. I have Marine. Yeah, Marine's really nice. Maybe one of these days I'll probably buy a bottle. of marine as well. Sometimes the dry down is a little bit pencil shavy, but it's a really nice fragrance overall. Let me see. He waived the shipping. He is a great guy. That's really nice. George is a really kind guy. He's got a good energy about him, or a good vibe. He means well, and he's a big inspiration for a lot of people. You know, if you're looking for some support and some encouraging words, George is a good voice in the world. So, and his fragrance is pretty darn good as well. And he's put a lot of effort into finding and sourcing those ingredients, which I think is really awesome. And I love that he actually labeled where all of his notes came from. That really matters to me. That transparency with where you got your notes and the quality of them. And it's nice to do research too. So, hey Jacqueline, hey, how you doing? How's life? How's the world? How what I think I asked your scent of the day this morning. I don't remember if you told us or told me. Anyways, how y'all doing? I'm sorry if I'm low energy. I don't I don't feel like I am, but I think that I'm coming off that way. Or maybe I'm just not being very fun. I don't know. I found with Amara, I don't like it much spraying on the neck. The neroli, yeah, the neroli gets the incense quality gets to me. I don't like the oily patchouli. It's kind of it's almost powdery in its own way. To me, Amara just doesn't work. But and it's really bitter orange. But some people like it. It's if you like it, love it. If you like it, rock it. But the neroli isn't piercing my nose that way. Okay, yeah, spray it on your arm, spray it on the back of your neck. You can also spray fragrances at the back of your knees. That's a trick as well. I still haven't made it. I've mentioned it before, and I've included or mentioned some tips on how to apply fragrance, but I need to make another dedicated video on how to apply fragrances. So, hi Jacqueline, I love Amara, but at first it was very cloying. Yeah, it definitely has a lot of character to it. It's not for everybody, but it's good. It's good stuff. I'm well into Latafa at the moment. Yeah, that's really nice. That Rogba Latafa is one of the longest lasting sweet vanilla kind of almost Middle Eastern like Oriental fragrances I've ever come across. I got sent a bottle from a subscriber who really wanted me to review it. I'm glad he did. My mom absolutely loves it. It became a gift for her. And if you want a like a kind of like a Middle Eastern kind of exotic twist on a vanilla fragrance that gives you awesome longevity and performance, that stuff lasts like forever, and you can get it close to for 35 odd dollars. Some people say it smells like Oud Bouquet by Lancome. I think it does smell a little bit like that, but I think the big focus and the big player in the fragrance is really vanilla. So if you like that Oud Bouquet, but you're on a budget, it's really nice, and you like vanilla, it's really good. Um, I do feel it is unisex, perhaps maybe 55 ladies, 45 men, maybe. I do think guys could pull it off, but really nice fragrance, really nice. When y'all see me do reviews with my style and my personality, are there any fragrances that y'all would recommend for me? Somebody actually recommended a Comme des Garçons, and I'm really interested in it. It had the name was really long. It had something to do with the opera. But if you ever have a recommendation for me, I know I love to give recommendations and help you guys out. If you have any recommendations for me, let me know. I'd love to help. I feel like I need music in the background, but anyways, the last fragrance I was going to showcase for y'all, that Bulgari I was talking about. This one is Bulgari Man Black Orient. This is the a flanker of Man in Black, and this one definitely is more Middle Eastern. Honestly, times it reminds me a little bit of Tom Ford's Oud Wood, and this is significantly cheaper. I don't know if it ever came in a bigger bottle. It's getting a little bit hard to get, but you can find this one for 45, 50 odd dollars for two. This is not 2 mils, 2 ounces. So I think that's 60 mils, and it's really nice. The quality's really good. It's I really like this stuff, but it's like a modern wearable seductive suede oud. You gotta check this one out. Google it. if you do like your modern, type of oud fragrances. If you like oud wood and you're on a budget, I don't think it'll disappoint you. Have you tried any honey frags? Killian, Back to Black, Zerjoff, Noxos, Mugler, Pure Havana. I have tried Pure Havana. I think, what was that? Elisab Le Parfum was a beautiful honey fragrance. I don't think I've tried Back to Black. If I have, it's been a while and I didn't get the tested enough. I honestly haven't tried Zerjoff Naxos yet. I actually intended to, but maybe I was sleepy or I just had like a mind a lapse in judgment, and I bought a sample of Neo. And a lot of people used to talk really highly of Neo as well. But for me, Zerzhov Neo was not exciting, and I really didn't like it that much. It was a decent citrus fragrance. It wasn't bad, but for the price, I wouldn't go anywhere near it for the price for a citrus. But maybe that's just because I'm not a focused. I'm not the biggest fan of citrus. Like for me personally, even Maison Francis Kurtajon, the Aqua line, they're Aqua Universalis, and all of those Aqua Celeste and all of that. Even though they're well made, they're well done. I'm sure a lot of people out there absolutely love them. For me, for an aquatic that I to me it doesn't smell that special. I don't know. I can't spend that much money on an aquatic, especially when it lasts 4, 5, 6 hours. It drives me crazy. I feel like I'm blowing money, like burning money. Zoologist B, yeah, that one's really nice. I haven't tried it. I didn't jump on the bandwagon or blind buy a bottle or anything. I'd like to try it. I feel like I would think it's nice, but I don't think for my personality I'd want to smell like I'm wearing wax or honey and or anything slightly animalic or powdery. But it does look nice. It's going to be fun to try it one of these days. Zoologist is a great brand. It's getting a lot of popularity in the niche world. I really want to try elephant, rhino, and chameleon, and I definitely want to try hummingbird. And I think it's going to be a gift. That it looks lots of people. No, ladies love hummingbirds. So niche alternative to Spice Bomb. I That's an interesting question. It probably would be Initio Rehab, which is on my buy list. I feel like it's a little bit more of a vanilla fragrance. Some people complain about longevity. They get anywhere from 6 hours or so. But Initio Rehab is really addictive. It smells really, really good. It's not beast mode, but it's really, really nice. Probably Rehab by Initio. But if you want that vibe, you're probably going to have to go for the real the original. But honestly, if you want similar cardamom, spicy vanilla fragrances, you might want to try CH Men Privé. I don't know if you've tried that one yet, but CH Men Privé is a really good date fragrance. I think it's better than La Nuit de l'Homme at this point. And you might want to try, what was it called? Black Tie Affair by Alexandria. It's not the same. These aren't the same fragrances, but they're similar. They're like distant cousins. And you might like that one as well. So Spice Bomb's interesting. Spice Bomb still sells really well. I liked it for about a month, but for some reason the tobacco was kind of heavy, and it wasn't my vibe. It definitely has a little bit of a provocative nature that is, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's like that. I don't know. What was that main actor? It's kind of got that like Twilight feel about it, like kind of like punk leather jacket, doesn't say much, gives everybody the stink eye, stares everybody down. It's kind of got that look. That to me, it kind of smells that way. Back to Black is in my top five. Yep, I haven't tried it yet, but I need to. A lot of people are talking about Killian a lot recently. I don't know why, but Killian's a good house. I just haven't sampled a lot of them. It's I hope I can go to a boutique and smell a bunch of those Killians. I really want to try Rolling in Love, Gold Knight, and Musk Oud are the ones I want to try. Those are the ones I definitely am interested in. Parfums de Marley Herod is a good niche alternative to Spice Bomb. Perhaps it could work. It's not. It's to me. I don't really get much of a spice out of Herod, but and I have a hate love relationship with it. Herod, it on if I just look at the notes, it looks like one of those fragrances that I absolutely would love and go crazy for. But when I actually smell the fragrance, uh, there's something about it. With the vanilla and the dry down, the vanilla kind of has this high frequency, or the sweetness kind of has a little bit more. I don't know. It stands out of the base of the fragrance. It doesn't seem like it wants to play well with the others to my nose, and that could just be me. But there's this quality about it where there's a sweetness piercing through, and it's a unique sweetness. I haven't really encountered that very often, but the sweetness almost does remind me of the sweet quality I get out of Tobacco Rojo by Babylon Fragrances. I don't know if it's the same aroma chemical, but I get a similar vibe to, and it kind of throws me off. It sometimes bothers me, but Herod's a good fragrance. Lots of people really love it. But in the dry down, there's something in the dry down that just, I don't know, sometimes bothers me. Tuxedo by YS Yves Saint Laurent, really good fragrance, really classy. To me, I get a little bit more of a patchouli vibe, but that one's, if you've got money and you want to smell like a classy gent, that's definitely a good way to go. Centralized says sales PO says, yeah, I sold my bottle of Herod. It became cloying. Yeah, the opening is absolutely gorgeous on Herod. I absolutely love the opening to Herod. It blew me away, and I actually was considering buying a bottle at one point. But every time I tested it, there was a certain sweetness. There's a certain aroma chemical. There's something in the dry down they've mixed in the dry down of Herod that just, I don't know. It pierces through the composition. It doesn't seem to want to play well, and it just irked me. I don't know why, but we all of us have different styles, and all of us can smell different things differently. Probably, maybe somebody out there can't even smell that note. Maybe somebody out there can't even detect what I'm talking about. So I mean, it's a good fragrance. Rock it if you like it. My favorites from Parfums de Marly, if we're talking about Parfums de Marly, is probably Galloway, Leighton Exclusive, and Hobdon. And I'm definitely buying a bottle of Hobdon as soon as I can. I absolutely love Hobdon, and I think it's probably my favorite from the house. I think Galloway's nice. Honestly, it's too similar to Renaissance by Xerjoff, which is a golden child to me on the buy list. So I'll probably be buying Xerjoff Renaissance instead of Galloway, even though I really do like Galloway. It's a Galloway is one of those really nice, fresh, almost like vetiver type of fragrances. Very classy and easy to wear, almost like an aromatic. And I have my Bulgari Extreme. I just showed y'all my bottle of Anthony One. It kind of does the same thing in a way. Yes, there's differences. Yes, the quality of Parfums de Marly Galloway is absolutely great, but maybe if I can find a really, really ridiculous price on it, like somebody on eBay selling it for like $80 or something ridiculous, maybe I'll snag it up. But I, it's not high on the priority list. What about Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille or Les Artisans Parfumeur? Is that how you say it? T for two for an alternative. I think they're very different fragrances, but I could see where the Tobacco Vanille perhaps could work. They do have a similar style about them, but different notes. I guess there is tobacco even in spot to a degree. Yeah, there's tobacco in Spice Bombs, so I could see where it's a distant cousin. But to me, Tobacco Vanille comes off awfully spicy. I think it's a good fragrance. Lots of people adore it. It's a golden child for a lot of people, but Tobacco Vanille, the clove, there is clove in it. It's actually a big note. Maybe there's different formulations that don't play up the clove as much, but every time I've tried it, the clove comes out in a big way, and I'm sensitive to clove, and it's just too much. And I didn't feel like it was complex enough. It was mostly just a tobacco vanilla fragrance. There wasn't anything besides the clove really playing along with the fragrance. So tobacco vanille isn't something I absolutely love, but again, some people love different fragrances. I love Davidoff Zeno. I actually decided to buy a bottle today, and I've been wanting to buy a bottle. My dad sold off his, so I'm like, I gotta buy one. I have to get it. So tobacco vanille. Tea for two, I don't think it has a lot of similarities, but it does have some spice to it. Tea for two is a really nice fragrance. It's really, really nice by Les Artisans, but I don't know. And I've always kind of felt conflicted about Tea for two. I love Les Artisans. I encourage people to try Les Artisans because people are missing out on how good they are. And sometimes those fragrances get sold off for super cheap. You know, they're worth the money. They're worth their 120, $150 every day of the week, but sometimes you can find them for 70, $80 and it's ridiculous. But the thing is with T for two, I think it's really nice. It's kind of the more effortless version. If you like Hugo Boss, it's the regular Hugo Boss DNA, the Boss Bottle DNA. It's probably the way to go. They're distant cousins. They're not very similar particularly. But the thing is, I like Serge Lutin's 5 o'clock Gingembre better for like a tea fragrance. It has like a certain biscuity quality, and to me, the fragrance smells better. But you know, that's kind of a battle. You could do a big fragrance battle between the two. You know, Les Artisans Tea for Two and Serge Lutin's 5 o'clock Gingembre. They both are kind of trying to do the same thing, but they both go about different ways of doing it. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. I've never done a fragrance battle between the two, but I think they deserve a fragrance battle. But that's more, most people who want to see fragrance battle videos, want to see like big fragrances that are popular. They want to see Spice Bomb go up against like CHMN Privé. Things like that. They want to see, I don't know, Jean Paul Gaultier's In the Navy versus, like Dior Sauvage or something like that. So, or Nishane Spice Bazaar. I haven't tried Spice Bazaar. I absolutely love Nishane. I'm a big fan of Fan Your Flames. It's one of the first niche fragrances I ever bought, and I had to buy it. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't be if Spice Bomb smells like a better version of Spice Bomb. I might be all into it. I might absolutely be go crazy for it. So look, got to try it. They have some really good stuff. Dior Spice Blend. I want to try it. I've heard mixed reviews of Spice Blend. Honestly, the new collection from Dior exclusives. Honestly, for me, that floral, almost like soapy quality in the background, as the heart of the fragrance, doesn't play well with some compositions. A lot of people like the Ombre Nuit. Is it Ombre Nuit? No, no, it's Oud Leather. I'm getting things mixed up. I think it's Oud Leather. It's the one that's slightly animalic. I didn't think the composition played well together, and I didn't like how it kind of was in the forefront, that almost like floral soapy quality, and it kind of threw off the composition. I think the heart of the fragrance needed to be played down. I think the leather needed to be a little, a lot more in the forefront of the fragrance. But everybody likes different things. I really haven't liked Dior's exclusive line, Chanel's exclusive line. A lot of people seem to love those. Maybe they're mass appealing as far as niche goes. I'm not sure. Chanel's exclusive line, and I know Dior had some real winners in the past with like Mitza, but as far as their recent releases, the Dior exclusive line is I don't think it's worth it. But maybe Spice Blend redeemed themselves. Maybe they, came out with a really nice release, but I'm not exactly excited to try it because I've heard really mixed things. DFW Shade says, I love the smell of Herod, but I almost get non existent longevity in sillage. Really? You get really bad performance. Um, I got decent performance out of it, maybe 6, 7 hours, but it didn't project that as well as maybe some people made it out to be. I don't think Herod projects that well, but it did have some sillage to it. But maybe it didn't work for you. Maybe your skin. I don't know. That's Kurt. I hope it hasn't been reformulated. I haven't heard anybody talk about Parfums de Marly being reformulated. I don't think they've done that, but who knows? Maybe they've. Maybe they have. Or I got my bad bottle. Maybe you did get cheated. Maybe somebody diluted it. If you buy bottles of really popular fragrances on eBay, I'm sure that y'all know this. Be very careful. If you're going for Baccarat Rouge 540, a Ventus on eBay, or any really popular fragrance, there are people who will, completely switch out the fragrance with others. They'll dilute it with alcohol. They'll mix the original fragrance with, put, a couple drops of the real stuff and mix it with a cheaper alternative like a clone or something like that. There's people, my dad buys a Ventus and he's a Ventus fanatic, and there's people who do ridiculous stuff, cheating people and stealing people with a Ventus, stealing people's money. So, the sad thing is, there's people who are trying to get Aventus on the cheap. There's people who want to blind buy it. They've heard about it, and people rant and rave about Aventus and some of these popular fragrances like Leighton. And somebody who's never smelled it before might smell it and might say, "Oh, it still smells pretty good," or they might not know the difference, or they might actually think that the fragrance isn't as good as the reviewer talked about. And they got like a clone, or they got duped, it got diluted, or it's a mixed fragrance. So it's a shame. You got to be careful out there. Zeno is great. Yeah, Zeno to me is one of the best classic timeless fragrances ever made. Davidoff Zeno is one of those like Encre Noir type fragrances that has a cult behind it. I don't think it's as big as the Encre Noir cult, but it's wonderful. And Zeno, it deserves respect. It's classy. It's dark. I think it has. It might have. I think yeah, it definitely has some patchouli. I think it has some vetiver. It's real masculine. I like smelling like a manly gent. A lot of these modern fragrances like YSL just don't work for me. I honestly, when I first smelled YSL I don't know if I've told y'all this before. It bothered me, not only because I didn't like the smell, and I didn't like how it was composed. But I'm like, why would a man want to smell like this? But everybody has different styles and everybody has different personalities and likes and dislikes. And YSL to me was like, no, please, please say it's not so. Like some people probably felt that way about Invictus, but when I was in college, I actually thought Invictus was really great, but then I grew out of it. But maybe people feel the same way about, I don't know, like I did about YSL. Zeno is really great. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I got my 4.2 ounce bottle, and you can get it for like $16. It's it's absolutely ridiculous. It's one of the best fragrance deals on the market. With Nautica Voyage, Encre Noir, El Extreme, Lalique Pour Homme, Moschino Umo, if that's how you say it. People criticize me for my French all the time. But yeah, there's some amazing cheapies out there. I actually have a bottle of Tommy Bahama. I think it's the St. Kitts. It's the one in the purple bottle. I think it's the Starfruit one. I actually have a bottle of that coming because it seems to be getting hard to get. I don't know if it's been discontinued, but it's not easy to get that one anymore. And I've always wanted to smell it, and I've always tried to buy an individual bottle and find it on the cheap. But I seem to never be able to find a bottle of that anymore, especially for $30 or less. So I ended up buying you know, a a gift set with shampoo, and there's something else like maybe a lotion or something. So I'll get to review that for you guys soon, but it might be discontinued. That's a shame. It might be really good. And I don't know. Have y'all tried that Saint Kitts or whatever it's called by Tommy Bahama with the purple bottle? I'm hoping that's a really good fragrance for the summer. Definitely a love. Fan Your Flames. Yeah, Fan Your Flames blew me away. It's a beautiful fragrance. I don't know if I've talked about it enough on my channel, but you get if you're a lady looking at it and you just see coconut and you think it's going to be a creamy, powdery, playful coconut. Uh, the coconut's roasted. There's a lot of rum to the fragrance. There's an authentic, real spiciness that punches you when you first wear it. And as the fragrance dries down, this it's almost like a bear out of a cave, or some the fragrance really comes through with a bunch of tobacco, and the tobacco is a big player in the fragrance, so it's probably going to sneak up on you. um but it's a really nice masculine fragrance. I think it's way better than Creation E. I think it's way better than Enigma by Roja. I'm not going to get those Roja bottles for free, but I'm just telling you guys, it's cheaper, it gives you better performance, and I think it smells higher quality. I think it's just a winner all the way around. Nishane's Fan Your Flames. If you're a masculine guy, if you like Dior Fahrenheit, if you like some of those fragrances, I think that you definitely got to get your nose on it. And honestly, I know it doesn't smell the same at all. I know it's a completely different fragrance, but for example, like T-Rex is kind of going in that direction, but T-Rex is almost unwearable. T-Rex is a monster. I think if you want to tame things back and actually make it wearable, I think Fan Your Flames is the way to go. But if you want an absolute monster, you might want to go with Patchouli and those masculine kind of quotes, that masculine feel. Definitely go for T-Rex by a zoologist. It's a monster. Um, let's see. I want to try Rouge Trafalgar. I haven't tried that one. I don't know much about it, honestly. Favorites from Frederick Mall. Honestly, I haven't been to a boutique. I haven't tried a lot of Frederick Mall. I tried, what's that one called? The one with the clove. Muscovy Jour. I tried that one because everybody, well, there was a lot of hype around that fragrance for a little while. For about 6 months or so, Muscovy Jour got a lot of hype. There's a lot of big name reviewers who really were just ranting and raving about it. For me, it's a little bit too animalic, and I'm sensitive to clove, so the clove was way too much. I kind of disliked the fragrance, and it wasn't for me. That's one of those fragrances. If I was in a bus stop, if I was in an airplane sitting beside somebody who sprayed like 10 sprays of that on, it would be unbearable. It would really knock me out. But I did find Mahariz, and it Mahariz by El Herbolario, and it's a scent very close. Some people say it's a clone. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but the vanilla is really amped up. I think there's the right amount of clove. It's still, I can bear with the clove, and there's like it feels like a lot more like cinnamon at times, and it's cheaper. I That's why I ranted and raved, and I talked really positively about Mahariz. I think it's a really good fragrance, really worth the money. Let me see here. Got Herod from Notino US a few years back. Yeah, Notino, the one that changed. Is that, I think it used to be Perfume. I'm not even remember. It used to be like Perfume something. They changed around their name, and now they don't sell to the U.S. really anymore. I think it was Fragrance X. I think they still sell, but their website's kind of weird. Their website's not the best. Anyways, does anyone ever check the batch code for older fragrances? I did for one of mine, but I think I forgot to screen capture. But now I'll do it again, and the site tells me mine's a 2020 bottle. Which fragrance are you talking about? I usually don't look at my batches unless I know there's been a reformulation and I want to see if it's a certain formulation of a fragrance, or if I'm just uber curious if I think the fragrance smells weird or odd, or maybe if I'm getting a really different experience from somebody else, like I'm smelling completely different notes. But I usually don't check the batches. I've only checked the batches of, 4 of my fragrances. And one of those was L'Enduit de l'Homme, because of course, batch variations with L'Enduit de l'Homme. Who doesn't check their batch? Well, at least if you're, I think most of the time people are looking at their batches of L'Enduit de l'Homme. But Sensual Eyes says, I have 3 Guerlain fragrances on the way. Oh, fantastic. Which ones? I really do need to buy that Louis. Even if I don't like it, or maybe I should just buy it for a gift for my dad. He might like that one. That Louis, I think you can get for like $50 odd, and some people are saying it's amazing for the money. Like one of those dark green kind of smoky fragrances. Looks really nice. But I don't have a lot of Guerlains in my collection. Maybe I'll find one that I really, really like. I thought that the Ideal Cologne was really nice, but it was kind of simple. Maybe I should buy up, a bottle. If y'all don't know, it did get discontinued. The 50 mils are still available for $20, but I don't know if that'll last forever. It's kind of like Aqua Amara. All the 100 mils of Aqua Amara kind of disappeared, and then as the supply dries down of the 50 mils, that's when the prices will get crazy after the 50 mils are gone. But I thought it was really nice, but I didn't absolutely love the smell. I'd rather smell like Moschino Umo, and some other fragrances that maybe have some patchouli or something. It's To me, it's a perfectly unisex fragrance. It's just not my vibe, honestly. It's a good fragrance though. Hello, everyone. Hey, Darren. How you doing? Happy to see you. I'm just hanging out with you guys. I've been on here for over an hour. How's everybody doing? What's your scent of the day? Have you been buying fragrances? How you been holding together? Is everybody quarantined and all that, or how you holding on? Is everybody doing well? Hopefully, I'm a friend. Hopefully, you enjoy hanging out with me. So, Vetiver Extreme and Le Instant and Le Homme. Yeah, those are really nice. Really nice. I forget if I've tried the extreme version. I have smelled the original vetiver. I do recommend it. It's one of the best fragrances for the. Yeah, sorry about that. For the money, really nice fragrance. Really, really good. Can't say enough good about it. And Le Instant, yeah, that's is at a classic at this point. And Le Homme. Let's see here. And again, you can find them at great prices. That's the amazing thing. Find them at really good prices. YSL La Nuit de l'Homme, I bought it back then, but it was on the edge on its first reformulation. It's the 4-digit number. Only the vintage has the the 4 digits, but also has the newer packaging. Yeah, it used to be like 20% better, and it lasted longer, had better sillage. It's a shame. I honestly, I never particularly loved the smell of La Nuit de l'Homme, but I did buy into it. I bought 2 bottles of the second reformulation, not the first. When I got into it, I got a bottle on the cheap before, you know, with the reformulations right before the third kind of came out, and then there was, definitely before the fourth, and the prices got even crazy for for the second reformulation, and also my brother had a bottle, and he has really sensitive in skin, and he decided he didn't like it, and I bought it off of him. So I had both of those for a while. I didn't find that I wore them very often. I didn't love the fragrance. I liked CH Men Privé a lot better. Honestly, I kind of grew out of that too, and I gave it to my other brother for Christmas. So I guess I don't like lavender cardamom fragrances that much. The ladies absolutely love them. I mean, it always works. Ladies love them. It works for dates, but I'd rather wear something that's like a spicy tonka or like a patchouli caramel gourmand or something that's like provocative and I don't know, something more my style. But I really like Pardon though. I feel like Pardon has a similar vibe to La Nuit de l'Homme, but adds a lot of dark chocolate and a lot of character. If you're maybe a little bit more of a mature guy, maybe you have some money, and maybe you do like the gourmands, and maybe you always wanted to like La Nuit de l'Homme or wanted a really good seductive date night fragrance, I definitely would give Pardon by Nasamato a chance. It works. It's a really nice fragrance. But I don't own a bottle yet. I definitely will in the future. I think that Pardon by Nasamato is better than Herod, personally, but my for some reason my screen lagged. Hopefully, I'm not lagging for y'all. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Just waiting for the big sales to come. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of sales. It's going to be like Black Friday. It's going to be like Cyber Monday. We're going to have, all these companies are hurting right now. All the, we're struggling, and the companies are struggling too. Some companies are shutting down. Some companies are going to shut their doors and they're never coming back. We're going to be hit, and it's going to be hit hard. But hopefully, we can recover from all this. But there's a bunch of sales coming. If you've been irking to get a good sale on a fragrance, you're probably going to get some really good sales. So, favorite balsamic fragrance. I have this oil from Airage Perfumes. It's called like Fairage, I think it is Farig or J, and it's a beautiful balsamic patchouli fragrance. It's absolutely gorgeous, and the price is right. It's not expensive at all. But as far as some like a balsamic fragrance, what if you're looking for one for you? I definitely would recommend Valentino Umo Noir Absolute. I think that's probably for the money. If you're looking for something that's more affordable before jumping into the niche world, that one is absolutely gorgeous. A real compliment getter, would work really well for dates. But if you're looking for the absolute best bang for your buck, again, Zeno. We just talked about it, but balsamic, for the money, for the quality, for the smell, for the the beautiful composition, what they were able to do. 4.2 ounce bottle. You can get it for like 17 bucks. If you're paying more than 20 bucks for it, you're probably overpaying for David Orsino at this point. And it's great. It's a big bottle. I can't believe how good that fragrance is, but you know, I don't know. It might smell not too modern to y'all. It might be too masculine or too macho for some guys. I don't know. A lot of people don't talk about it anymore. I have the intense Landuit, lots of violet. Yeah, it looks good. I want to buy the Le Parfum. There's a lot of fragrances I'm just going to end up blind buying. I've just trying to be sticking to my budget. I'm trying not to buy things on my credit card, but I really want that Landuit Le Parfum just to smell it, and I think I'll like it. Looking at the notes and judging from what I've heard from other people, it looks like it's going to smell similar to Noir Extreme by Tom Ford. And if it's like a little sophisticated fragrance like that, you know, for a decent price, I might really like it. But probably a little bit more on the subtle side, though. But let me see. Carly's in the house. Hey, Carly. Happy to see you. Hey, Carly Warley. Hey, Benjamin. Great to finally catch you live. It's probably because I'm been on here for too long. I've been on here for almost an hour and a half, Carly. But I'm happy to hang out with you a little bit longer. Catch a live long last. I responded to your replies on my comments. Hope you're doing. Yeah, I caught up with some of your comments. I definitely am not intending to skip them. Some comments, for some reason, don't pop up, on my notifications. That's how I usually respond. And honestly, I went back and I got caught up. I think with all the comments. At least I hope I did this week. And some of them were a month old, and I don't know if people have their notifications on. I don't know if they'll ever see those comments. And some people might say it's a waste of time, but I definitely love building that conversation, building that community, and I definitely care about you, Carly. I'm trying to avoid you. You're a wonderful lady, and I love your talking, chatting with you. I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. I mean, I guess I'm blessed because I have good health, but finances are definitely a struggle for a lot of us. But I'm holding on, and I hope that y'all are having a good time hanging out with me, having some fun, chatting about fragrance. But yeah, I think we're holding on for dear life. I hope that you're doing well. I don't know where you live. I don't remember if you'd ever told me, but oh, I know where. I mean, what city? But I don't know if you're rural. What I meant to say is, I'm like stepping on your feet. I don't know if you're in a big city or if you're rural. I don't remember, but I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're around. Maybe a few friends or family, quarantined with at least somebody who you can chat with and have at least have some human interaction. Human touch is important for a lot of us. It matters. Some of us are hurting because we're not around family or friends or anybody. It's a shame that Guerlain discontinued Le Homme Ideal Cologne. Yeah, and I don't know if it's true, but somebody, rumors come down the pipeline, and if a whole line of fragrance doesn't sell well enough, sometimes things get X'd. Supposedly, the whole Valentino Umo line is being X'd, and they're going to come out with a whole new line, or maybe I don't know what's going to happen with Valentino. I thought they had some good fragrances, but I don't think the fragrances sold very well. And that Guerlain Ideal, that Guerlain Ideal line, I don't know if it's selling very well. If you do like any of those, like the Parfum or any of the flankers, you might want to buy them up before they disappear on you if you really like them. So keep putting one foot in front of the other, Ben. You'll get where you're going. I hope so. I have big dreams and I have big ambitions, so I got to make things happen. I gotta stop holding myself back. I have these dreams and I say I'm going to do things, and you know sometimes I see obstacles, or I do have obstacles, and then I don't think of a workaround. I see the obstacle and I'm like, if that obstacle doesn't get out of my way, then I don't have I don't have any options, and I limit myself that way. And I hope that maybe y'all can learn from me. Don't do that. If you see a problem, an obstacle in your way, figure out a way to get around the obstacle, or do things in a new way, do things in a creative way, and make your dreams happen. It's any hero, any success story. things didn't, often we hear of the glamorous things and we think people are lucky. We think people, things were handed to them, or sometimes people did get really lucky. Sometimes, people were in the right situation, but the people who, were successful were the people who were prepared. They gained the skills, they gained the know-how, they prepared for the opportunity, and they, looked for the opportunity, and they leaped on the chance. Things weren't just given to them. So, definitely have to have two. You have to have both of them working together to make things happen. If you don't have the know-how and you don't have the opportunity, it might not work. But you got to find that opportunity, make it happen. But also, if you have the opportunity but you don't have the know-how, if you don't have the infrastructure, you're not prepared. That also isn't going to work. So, did you try Valentino Umo Aqua? Yes, it's a really nice fragrance. It's kind of interesting. I kind of compare it sometimes to the distant cousin to Versace the Dreamer. Very different fragrances, but I do think that they're very distant cousins. And I often mention that fragrance if somebody likes really interesting, maybe odd fragrances. Like if you like Lolita Limpica Pour Homme, if you like Versace the Dreamer, if you like Telegram by Imaginary Authors, I think that's a fun fragrance to try. It is really nice, and it also might have a tiny bit of a similarity to Dior Homme O, maybe just a little bit. Anyways, do y'all have any more questions for me? This is the perfect opportunity to get to know me a little bit more. If you have questions, if you didn't see my celebrity crush video, that helps y'all get. I try to be open and very transparent. Some people want to know where I live. Some people want my dang address or my phone number, but I'm very open about almost everything. I've told y'all my music preferences at this point. I've told y'all my celebrity crushes. Y'all know my taste in fragrances. Y'all know a lot about me. Y'all really do. So hopefully I've been pretty transparent. A lot of YouTubers don't tell you as much as I have. So in the world, anyways, any more questions? Sorry, I'm getting kind of tired. Anyways, something that's been on my mind, of course, besides possibly working on my own brand in the future, is what do y'all think's going to happen after this all works out, after with the virus and all? What do you think's going to happen after this with fragrance companies? It's kind of the same thought, and I was kind of had that on my mind. It's kind of that conversation Mr. Cologne 76 had on Instagram. I don't know if y'all know who that guy is, but he's awesome. I have an Instagram profile, and it's growing. And Mr. Cologne 76 is definitely doing a good job as well. But like, do y'all think big changes are going to come from this? Do y'all think companies are going to be willing to send more samples, or do you think companies are going to do a lot more effort to have better websites, or how do you or interact with customers a little bit different? How do you think things are going to change? The crush one was good. We don't need to know your life story. Yeah, I feel the same way. I've told y'all a lot, and I don't want to. I don't. I mean, unless you're a YouTuber who wants to, I I don't think that's the really appropriate. And y'all know how the world is on the internet. I just say that because I don't want to name names, but there's a couple. There's a fragrance reviewer, and there just people here and there who seem to want to know every nitty gritty detail of your life. They want to know everything, and I don't know. Some things you don't need to say, and some things will kind of compromise you. I don't want a stalker at my door. But I'm prepared. I'm a strong guy, and I definitely am not the kind of guy you probably want to sneak up on, because I don't want to get into that. But y'all know that I pack, so lead, if you know what I mean. But the world can be, the internet's not always a safe place, so I hope nobody feels pressured to give out personal information. Let's see here. Always great to learn more about you, celebrity crushes. Yeah. Hopefully, you get to see some of the ladies I'm interested in, my style, the personalities. As you can see from the video, I like long hair, I like blue eyes, and I like these I like people, ladies with really nice voices and a certain facial expressions. So we all have our different preferences. We all have different likes and dislikes. And I thought it was a fun video. And I want to see other fragrance reviewers' preferences. And what celebrity crushes do you have? I thought it was a fun idea. I don't know if y'all think it's fun, but I thought it was really fun. And what do you think about Gavinci Le Interdite EDP as a gift? I don't remember. I might have tried it, but it's not coming to mind. I don't know if I've tried that one, honestly. Or I don't know if you wrote it right. But if it's a gift for a lady, Gavinci does a wonderful job with ladies' perfumes, and the fragrances aren't really appreciated as much as they should be. They're really underpriced. There's a lot of amazing, Ali Saab and Gavinci fragrances like on FragranceNet or Fragrance by CA, and they're at amazing prices. If you're wanting a gift for a lady, I really recommend. What is that fragrance called? Mugler Angel was Angel Essence Absolute. It's a little bit more of an exotic, almost like a kind of almost more of an oudi fragrance, but it's really really nice. Great performance, exotic, smells beautiful, and I like Angel Muse by Mugler for ladies, and but there's I think it's by Gavinci, but it's like the all Daemon line. They have a bunch of different flakers. The Shalimar Lumiere Souffle, the Shalimar Souffle EDP. There's so many good fragrances out there for ladies. It's absolutely crazy. Sometimes I know I have a lot of fragrances that I like, but sometimes I feel jealous. There's really nice fragrances for you ladies out there. Guerlain is Insolence EDP is really good. So Dean says the world moves so fast. Give it a couple weeks after we get going. People will forget and be focused on another problem. Yeah, people will find something else to get mad about. Some people find something else to complain about for sure. Hopefully, we can get it. We'll all move past this. We'll all become stronger because of it. Yeah, I just bring that up because I got really bothered. TED Talks and a couple of news agencies were suggesting that we'll never become essentially social again. We'll never go to restaurants or movie theaters or do things that we ever did like we used to. Vaccines are a thing, people. Vaccines work. And I think that's a terrible thing to say that we're going to change our lifestyles and we're all going to be more indoors or not going to shake hands or hug or be like the French, they have their custom, and or different cultures where they like kiss on the cheek and different stuff like that. Things are going to get back to normal. So they'll get back to normal. Yeah, just share as much as you feel comfortable with sharing. Thank you, Carly. I definitely try to put myself out there, but I was just saying that because I feel like I put a lot of my personality out there, and I'm pretty open with you guys. But some people are like, more, you don't share enough, you're not friendly enough or open enough, and I guess it's because some reviewers I've been pretty friendly with them, and some reviewers I've been really kind to. But if you become, some people expect once you get to a certain level of friendship, they expect like you to exchange numbers with them, and I love this fragrance thing, and I love being a fragrance reviewer, and I like I'm friends with some fragrance reviewers, but I don't want to give out my personal number. I can chat with you on Instagram Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and there's other ways to chat with you. I don't need somebody calling me or texting me about fragrance, world or fragrance drama or whatever it is all the time. Uh, I don't know. Maybe in the future, some people will have my number, but I don't know. At least I don't want to do that. The Silent Night says, "Don't tell people anything they don't need to know." Yeah, definitely. That's the way to be. Have you tried Caribbean Waters by Dua? Honestly, I haven't. I haven't tried any of the new Duas, the new fusions, or their new releases. The Duas I tried, I bought about a dozen of the old ones. I don't know. I don't think they sell most of them anymore, and I didn't like the quality of them. I thought they lasted decently, but they didn't last extremely long either. So quality and longevity and everything to me was a miss. But maybe they've improved a lot of things. They've changed their bottle size, the presentations. Maybe they improved their quality. I don't know. Maybe Dew is a lot better now. But for some reason I just don't want to touch them, and I don't know why. I don't want to go anywhere near them at this point. But maybe in the future I will. Just like natural perfumery. Um, I in the future, maybe I'll mess more with natural perfumery. I recently reviewed a fragrance from Unda Prisca, and I'll dabble once in a blue moon, but I don't want to really get deep into natural perfumery, at least at this point. I don't know why, but we all have a fragrance journey. We all do things in a different way. Fragrance journey dived deep into ouds. He dived deep into the niche world, and some people don't even play around with designers very much. We all have a different way about going about things. So, what's your opinion on Mont Blanc Explorer? Um, Good fragrance. It's versatile. It'll get you nice attention. I don't think it's the biggest compliment getter, but it's versatile. It's easy to wear. Um, it smells decent. It's another Aventus style fragrance. I'm at the point where I've smelled 30, 40, maybe more Aventus style fragrances, Aventus clones, and the like. And as a fragrance reviewer, I find it kind of annoying, but companies do it because they want to make money, they want a piece of the pie. And somebody smells a fragrance like that and they say, hey, it's cheaper than Aventus, or maybe they've never heard of or smelled of Aventus. And somebody at the local mall smells that fragrance and they say it smells darn good and they really like it. So it's a fragrance DNA that works. People like the smell, people really like it. And I don't have anything against it, even though it is kind of an Aventus fragrance, but I don't think I'll buy it. The best Aventus E fragrance I've come across was Napoleon Cologne by Fragranza. It has the best performance and the best smell, I think, of any Aventus style fragrance so far. But honestly, I know that Aventus it's not played out, even though a lot of people smelled it. If you live in a rural place, if you live in places where it's not easy to get Creed. If you live outside of any major city, you probably are still going to smell darn good and pretty original, and really really impress people with Aventus. So I don't know. I think Aventus is the way to go, but the 2020 version, they had to reformulate it again. I'm going to do a review on that. I don't know if y'all want to hear more about Aventus. For me personally, there's I don't know. There's so many wonderful fragrances, and it's hard to keep up with how many wonderful fragrances there are from all kinds of beautiful brands. There's so many brands and so many fragrances of things I've never tried, niche brands I've never tried, and I just don't want to focus on Aventus on my channel or think about Aventus every day. And some fragrance reviewers are just fragrance people seem to really be honed on the trend, and there's so much popularity behind it. But Aventus still works. Aventus probably is still going to grow in popularity, but the 2020 version is different. The 2020 version is we'll get into that review. I have a lot of thoughts about that, but Aventus, I don't think it's the king of fragrance. If we are going to do a funny, call a fragrance a king, if we're gonna like label something the best overall niche fragrance, which is kind of corny, it's kind of ridiculous to do anyways. I probably would say it's Jubilation 25 by Amouage. It's dives into the niche, but it's not too hard to wear. It's versatile enough, but has enough character. It's long lasting. It smells classy and luxurious and fancy, and the presentation's great. I think that Jubilation 25. Again, there's certain cult groups of fragrances. I'm definitely a part of Eau Sauvage, David Off-Zeno, and Jubilation 25 cult group. We're sniffing that juice, and we absolutely love it. We're crazy about it. So hopefully that gave you enough of an answer, Henry. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a rant. So how similar is ombre leather with Tuscan leather? Um, they have a similar vibe. Ombre leather is a little bit more fresh. It's a little bit more cottony. It smells like a white leather, like a suede. To me, Tuscan leather is a little bit more it's still fresh. It still smells like a fresh car leather, but the ombre leather smells like it's a little bit more of a white leather. The we're talking about, yeah, Tuscan leather. Uh, at first, I had oud wood in my head, but Tuscan leather definitely has a little bit more of an aged, a little bit more refined. It's a little bit darker, definitely more spicy. The raspberry on the top doesn't last very long for me, but it does add an interesting little invitation to the fragrance. It's a little bit interesting and gets you interested into the composition. But to me, the raspberry never lasts very long on Tuscan leather. But ombre leather is probably the most one of the easiest wear and the most compliment getting leather fragrances, like leather dominated fragrances in the world in the market. But it's still not a huge compliment getter because leather honestly isn't a big compliment getting note. But I think it's wonderful. I think ombre leather is fantastic to layer with other fragrances. I think it smells really great. And I think it's a really good fragrance to recommend for people who want to dabble into leather, but maybe find leather difficult to wear. It's a really, really good fragrance. But if you're deep into leather fragrances, or maybe you're really deep into niche, it might not be the most interesting or exotic leather fragrance. But Tuscan leather to me smells really nice. I've always liked it, but it's one of those fragrances I like to smell, but I never want to wear. Another reason why I haven't bought it, of course, is the 50 mils for like $300 odd. It's so expensive, but I like the smell and I really enjoy it, but I don't want to say it's unwearable, but I never feel like there's an occasion that I want to wear the fragrance. It feels like a fall fragrance. You could wear it in the spring. It definitely could be worn in the winter, but I never feel the urge to wear it. But I do really like the smell of Tuscan leather. So that's my struggle. Maybe one day I'll try a clone or an adaptation and it'll work for me. And I really do like this. I really do like what Tuscan leather has going to it, but there's something about it where I just never feel like there's an occasion. And for me, maybe I'll grow into it. Maybe when I get older, I'll grow into the fragrance, and maybe I'll feel like I can wear it. But I don't know. All of us have a different journey. All of us have different experiences, but hopefully that explains something. Ombre leather definitely is a little bit younger, but it's still definitely maybe 20s or 30s fragrance maybe. And Tuscan leather might be considered a little bit more mature. I don't know if that's true. It's just a suggestion. I'm not an ageist. I make suggestions, and some people think that when I recommend that Paco Rabanne 1 Million Lucky is better for the younger guys, and I've had older gents kind of get mad at me before, and it's just as a suggestion. You can wear anything anytime. You can be, I don't know, 80 years old and wear Nautica Voyage. I don't care. I'm happy that you love it, and I'm happy that you enjoy it. Uh, I certainly do. So get some rest, Ben. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a little bit tired over here, and people are running away from my stream. I just ran people away. Sorry about that. Tomorrow is another day. Yep, definitely. I need to wrap this up. I'm getting closer and closer to 2 hours on here. Man, it got dark out there behind you. Yeah, it's dark out here now. It's and I have this little light helping me stay bright and illuminated. But I definitely am out here in the cozy dark. Let me see here. Man, okay. Is Xeno similar to Jubilation? Oh no, no, no. Xeno is a patchouli fragrance. Xeno is more of like a woody, balsamic, almost like a vetiver style fragrance. It might smell old school. It's definitely more of a mature man's fragrance, but I think it smells really classy, and it's very well done. I think it's a great fragrance for the price. But Jubilation is more of like a resinous incense fragrance. It has a lot of black currant off the top, and the fragrance really develops and changes, and it has really, really good longevity. It smells really classy. Completely different fragrances. Don't get those two mixed up, but they're both definitely an experience. I don't know if you would absolutely love Xeno. It's definitely more on the like a dark patchouli side of things, and but Jubilation would be fun to try. I don't think it's a scary oud. I don't think it's hard to wear, but it definitely has some of that quality about it. But I think it's really, really nice. I only wear that fragrance for celebrations, family reunions, weddings, super fancy occasions when I dress up. It's a special fragrance. My cell just carked it quickly on read. Oh yeah, just he just kicked it and died. Quickly recharge for the rest of the party. Hey Carly, happy you're back. Uh, Jubilation 25 is just awesome. I Jubilation 25 is amazing. And again, I'm always a big fan of Amouage. I think most of their creations are darn good. I love their bottles. Again, I don't want to beat up on Creed, and Tom Ford charges a lot. Is probably charges more than Creed. You can get a full size, like a 3.4 ounce bottle from Creed for $300 odd. Tom Fords are giving you half the amount of juice for the same price. They're essentially charging you twice as much. Killian charges you almost twice as much most of the time. So I don't want to beat up on Creed, but Jubilation, I meant Amouage to me is, I don't want to say they're the king or the queen of niche, but they're up there. I love Nichane. I love Carnar Barcelona. Serge Lutens does a really wonderful job with some of their fragrances. There's a lot of brands and there's a lot of good stuff. And Jubilation 25 is up there for me. Jubilation 25 is and it's the thing is, even though it's an oud fragrance and even though it's kind of incensey, I still find it pretty versatile. I wouldn't wear it in the summer, I wouldn't wear it in the high heat, but man, oh man, does that fragrance, I can wear that just about 24/7 if I'm careful in the summer, if I put on like one spray, I can get away with that fragrance all year round, and it smells so good. And I'm happy that you think this is a party, Carly. Sometimes I'm a little bit self conscious. Sometimes I feel like I'm not being entertaining enough for y'all. I'm glad that y'all like my personality. Y'all could be anywhere else in the world, but y'all are hanging out with me, having fun with me, and chatting about fragrances. So I really do appreciate that. I really do. I'm thankful for that. That I have some fragrance friends, and y'all like hanging out with me. So thank y'all for that. It means the world. But I probably should wrap this up. I've been on here for an hour and 51 minutes, and I do need to go in there and grab some dinner. I haven't eaten dinner yet, and get I don't probably don't look tired, but I'm kind of feeling it. And but thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for the friendship. Thank you so much for the love. Thank y'all for being my friends. Carly, it was wonderful to see you again. I haven't been avoiding you. I promise I haven't been, ignoring you. And I'll get back to your comments if I. Hopefully, if you've seen my responses. If you haven't seen them, I'll make sure that I haven't missed any of your comments. And always feel free to reach out to me if you want to message, email me, or you know, chat with me on Instagram. So, um, got the cat over there annoyed at me. The cat's like, "What are you doing out there?" Cat's like, "You need to come in too." See, I haven't tried Tom Ford yet, but I'm not in a hurry to try theirs, considering the prices when I can get Creed, Aqua de Parma, or Bottega Veneta. Yeah, and I really like the Armani exclusive line. They have that one based on the gems, like the lapis lazuli, and their bottles look like almost like gemstones. Okay, am I back? I lagged for a second. Yeah, the Tom Fords are really nice. They have a definitely a signature, almost like dark, smooth, seductive patchouli quality about them. Tom Ford has a really nice style. I like some Tom Fords. I really want a bottle of Italian. Sorry about that, Italian Cypress, and I really want a bottle. There was another one, maybe ombre leather one day. I don't think I'll ever buy Tuscan leather. Maybe oud wood one day, but Costa Azzurra is definitely on the buy list, and Italian Cypress is definitely on the buy list. And if I get a signature lady around, definitely I want her to be wearing plum japonais. That's good stuff. But prices are a little bit whack for sure. A great live stream. Have a good night. I'll see you, Shade. Have a good night. Wish you the very best. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for spending some time with me, sharing some love, hanging out, and talking about fragrance. I'm happy that y'all spend your time with me. Great to see you. Take care, lovely Benjamin. Carly, I wish you the very best, and everybody else who's in the live stream right now. Lurkers, 13 people. People have been here from the beginning. I don't know who you are, but thank you for the love. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for chatting. And it was a lot of fun. Hopefully, I was entertaining enough for y'all. Thank y'all for the love and the support as always. I wish you the very best. Y'all know to stay safe. Y'all know to stay responsible and wash your hands and all that good stuff. And definitely, watch your health. Be eating fruit. Get a little bit of sunlight on you. Definitely be mobile. Get some exercise if you can. Indoors, do some push ups. Do what you need to do. And if you're feeling a little bit lonely, I'm here for you. But definitely feel free to call family, call your friends, and definitely don't be isolated in this world of technology. So I'll see y'all. I wish you the very best. Be safe and peace out. Wear what you love. Rock it. I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.